Hello guys, welcome back to Roma's Kitchen. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to make some curried goat or curried mutton. I'm going to be showing you the simplest way how to do it. It's very delicious. So if you want to see how all this gets made Roma's Kitchen style, stick around right after this intro.
Can't cook. Think you you pay your pretty look. You want to live a restaurant and come done man bank book. Cook, recipe book.
So I have here 2 pounds of mutton, and this has been nicely washed with some vinegar and water. You can use lemon or lime and water to clean your meat. And as you can see, there are some white parts on my meat, not just the red parts, because I do not like it just with pure lean. You need to leave some fat on your mutton. And it took me a while. It took me almost a year to get some mutton. So you know I had to make some curry mutton or curry goat. So next I'm going to jump into seasoning this. So to season, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of green seasoning, and I'm adding a lot of seasoning from now because I don't want to add too much when the pot is almost finished. This is just a blend of onion, scallion, thyme, garlic and pepper. I just use a quarter of a bird's eye pepper because I'm just not here for the spicy food, but you can add some Scotch bonnet pepper. Next, I'm going in with 3 tablespoons of all-purpose powdered seasoning. And let me add, guys, that if you're cooking for yourself or the people you're cooking for, they can handle their curry mutton or curry goat with a lot of pepper. You can go ahead and add your Scotch bonnet pepper as much as you'd like. So next, I'm going to go in with a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. Then I'm also going to go in with around the same, another quarter teaspoon of ginger powder. Then I'm going to be adding to this another quarter teaspoon of onion powder. Then I'm also going to go in with some dried thyme leaves. I'm just going to be adding in 1 teaspoon, and if you have your fresh thyme leaves, you just add your fresh thyme leaves instead. Next, I'm going to be adding in a quarter teaspoon of black pepper, then a half teaspoon of salt, and of course I like adding my curry from the get-go, so I'm going to go in with a tablespoon and a half of curry powder. Next, I'm going to be adding in some pimento seeds. This will help to tenderize the meat, and it will also help to give it a really nice flavor. So I'm just rubbing the seasoning all over my mutton here, and I'm just ensuring that every single piece is fully coated in all this seasoning goodness. It is smelling so good already. And you might just want to use a glove when you're doing this because curry powder will stay in your hands, but if you don't mind, you don't really have to use the glove. This is smelling so good, guys, but I won't be cooking this right away. I'll actually be cooking this the next day. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a container that can fit in my fridge, and I'm just going to add all the mutton in. And I'm going to ensure that I get all the seasoning out of the container and into this new container. Then here it is. I'm going to cover it and rest it in my fridge for 24 hours. Now the next day, this is it. It is nice and ready to be cooked. So here I have a pot, and I'm going to be adding to it 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You can go in with the oil of your choice. And you do not need more than 1 tablespoon because remember you left some of the fatty part on the mutton, and that will help to produce some form of oil as well, so you do not need your curry mutton or your curry goat too oily. So this is actually over some low heat right now, and my pot is thin. You might want to use something like a Dutchy pot to actually do this. I'm going to go in with 3 cloves of garlic, and you need to ensure that your pot is over some low heat because burnt garlic is the worst. So I'm just moving that around here. Then I'm going to go in with a half tablespoon of curry powder. And what I'm doing here is I'm just mixing the curry powder in the oil just to form a paste, but I have this pot over low heat so the curry and the garlic doesn't burn. And I'm just going to be doing this for around 3 to 5 minutes just to get the curry nice and pre-cooked. Then now I'm going to be going in with my mutton. And my stove is over low heat right now, but I'm going to turn it up to medium heat. And I'm just going to move my mutton around in the pot just to kind of smear it a little. So that's about it for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be covering the pot, and I'm just going to allow this to do its thing for about a good 15 to 20 minutes before I actually check back. Normally people would say they're allowing the mutton to sweat, so basically that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then after the 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid. Not much has happened because the stove is not super high, and as you can see, it was not burning or anything like that. And I'm just going to move this around some more. Next, I'm going to be adding in some water, and I'm just adding in some hot water here. You want to add hot water all the time, and I'm adding it to just cover the mutton just a little bit. So I'm just going to mix this around, move it around just a little. So now I'm just going to be turning up the stove just a little bit more, not too high, around the medium high, because we want to get this, we want to start the bubbling process, the cooking process. You don't want to turn your stove up too much. You're not trying to rush this. If you want this to be cooked quickly, you can just add this to a pressure cooker, and in no time this will be nice and soft. But I'm doing this on the stove top, so I'm basically slow cooking this. So I'm just moving it around here, and then I'm just going to allow it to come to a boil. I'm actually going to leave this covered for 20 minutes, then I'll come back in 20 minutes to see what's happening. So 20 minutes later, this is bubbling, this is smelling so good. So I'm going to be removing the lid, and as you can see, some of the water level has decreased, so of course this is nowhere near finished, so I'll have to add some more water to it. And remember, you only need to add hot water to your mutton. So I'm going in with enough water now to cover the mutton once again, and I'm going to cover it, leave it to do its thing once more for another 20 minutes. So here it is, an extra 20 minutes later. It is bubbling away, but the mutton is still not ready as yet. It's getting there. It's getting there. If you're doing mutton, if you're cooking mutton on your stove top, you have to have loads of patience. So you just need to pay attention to your mutton. Keep adding water until you get your mutton very soft. You want this to be very, very soft. It's slow cooking. And after about more than an hour and 40 minutes in total, it got nice and soft. So I added to this, but it wasn't recording. I added 1 medium potato, I added 1 small carrot, an inch of ginger, and a tablespoon of green seasoning. I only added green seasoning. I did not add any all-purpose seasoning or salt to this because I tasted it and it was great. I just added the green seasoning to get a little bit more spice to it, but not too spicy. And the potato and the carrots are nice bite-sized pieces, and this is what will help to give you that nice thick gravy without you having to add anything to it. So I'm just going to allow this, I'm going to move it around, then I'm going to allow this to cook down now to gravy to get the potato and the carrot soft for about just 20 more minutes. It's about that time, guys. So after about a good 2 hours in total for the cook time, once you see these bubbles, you know that your gravy is nice and thick now. And this is curried mutton or curried goat, so of course you need to have, you know, a good amount of gravy in the pot. So I'm just going to turn my stove off, and look at how thick this gravy is. This is just right, guys. The gravy is at the right thickness. This is not too oily. This is smelling good, and I'm telling you, this tasted really good too. So here I have served it with some white rice, some potato salad, some beet salad. So let me know, guys, in the comment section what you like to eat your mutton with. And I've also added to this some plantains to my plate. And of course, guys, let me know how you like your curry goat as well, whether you like it spicy or not. If you like the video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn your post notifications on. Until next video.